Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. All right, we here. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the Mirepoix.
Indeed. Welcome back.
Episode 12.
Yes, sir.
We're on White Labeling. We're with Sugar. We got Miss Adesuwa with us.
I'm here.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, 100%. So, welcome to the Mirepoix, where we pretty much talk about things, all things food, wine, service industry related, and we bring it back to us, bring it back to home, make it relatable to what we're doing in our lives and our pursuit of success.
That is us. So yeah, for those who are just joining, as always, Mirepoix is a mother stock, mother sauce out in French culinary cooking. Onions, carrots, celery, all reduced down, a little buttered fat. Of course, we are the Mirepoix for all great things conversation. So today we have myself, Chef Kais, Chef Adesuwa. How about we start with your introduction, Miss Adesuwa?
Hey, well, I'm super excited to be here. So
Yes.
I am Adesuwa, and I'm the owner of Asukar, which means sugar. We are a luxury pastry company here in San Antonio, Texas. We do custom pastries for private businesses. We do white labeling, and we also do award-winning wedding cakes and things like that. So we do it all.
That's right, that's right. And we also have old Chef Kais.
Yo, it is Chef Kais from the Chef Kais Experience, where we provide a luxurious dining experience in the comfort of your own home or the environment of your choosing. Meaning, as always, we come to you. So just, looking to help elevate your experiences, your brunch, weddings, luncheons, X, Y, Z. We got you.
And as always, I am Gilberto Casimiro Valdez Arias, the Guild Master, representing a fun collective of people that can help bring to life any vision you may have, any event, any project. And may I just say, jumping right into it, I am honored to be here with both of y'all today, especially you, Mr. Adesuwa. You got your whole thing up and running.
Yes.
We'll jump in with the catch-ups, where we let everyone know what we've been working on, what we've been brewing and skewing. And on my end, I've just been focusing on what kind of content I'm going to create. Everything's about to start dropping soon, so check out for the little hints on my Instagram page, also leading into my business's Instagram page. And then, Kais, what you got going on? How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good, man. Just finished off a brunch last week with some very special clients in my heart. Pretty much, I have the luxury of being booked by people that end up turning or becoming family for me. So, shout out to Grandpa, Granny, celebrating his 80th birthday. It's a blessing to be able to see life that long and be nice, young, and healthy.
80.
Yeah, and this week, hopefully, we'll be launching an e-cookbook for the holidays. Y'all stay tuned for that. And, just getting things kicked off and ready to go for the holiday season, man. Things are starting to pop off for that.
And the big reveal.
Oh, yes.
I feel like we need to give a drum roll.
I know, right? So we are in the process of opening our cafe, and I believe we have a good opening weekend coming up the week of November 16th. We'll be rolling out our Thanksgiving dinners, and we've got our cocktails done. Right now we just hung up the logoed custom mirror we ordered. So it's all coming together nicely, so you can definitely check us out on Instagram and stay in tune.
Yeah, so can we go a little bit deeper into the cafe? So what's kind of the concept behind it, and can you tell us about that?
Yeah, for sure. So my background, I went to school at Cordon Bleu in France, and I was the first student to receive every diploma. So I am a cuisine chef, culinary chef, pastry chef, and a sommelier.
Wow.
And when we evaluated the market, we felt that, we had the most room to grow in the pastry realm here in town. So that's what we kind of focused in on sugar. But with the cafe, it's definitely becoming a passion project where we can kind of utilize all of my education. So we'll be open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Friday, we are doing soup salad sandwiches, bougie cocktail. They call it a bougie coffee bar. And then the evening, we turn to a tapas bar. We're going to have some little hors d'oeuvres and really nice cocktails. And then on the weekends, we're going to actually go full brunch menu.
This sounds amazing.
A little bit. I'm not trying to be the egg girl, but we're going to have poached eggs or traditional French scrambled eggs, and that's it.
That's awesome. That's super exciting.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to being a part of that. And where is it going to be located at?
It is on 7810 Keeneland Drive in Fair Oaks Ranch, Texas. So right up I-10 near Bernie, exit 550, exit Rock Fair Road.
There we go.
That's the bougie area.
Hey,
It's
That
a nice
whole
area.
area. I was
Yeah,
about
probably
to say.
bougie.
So how are they going to eat? So they have to have me, you know?
Yeah, wait.
Mhm.
Well, we're looking forward to being a part of that, and we're happy that you took some time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah,
To
to
be able
make
to
it
share.
us and
Yeah.
bless us. And you're saying you were just getting out of a show too before you made it over here?
Yeah, so I have been on a YouTube weight loss show called The Biggest Transformation. So we're just in our 6 months, and I lost 41 pounds.
That's amazing.
So part of any type of growth, when you start growing, you have to share the knowledge to prove that you've made it, right?
Absolutely.
So we were able to enlighten and educate those fine folks. The Next Generation, season 6, and filmed their episode tonight for them. So I hosted that with a couple of my other colleagues from my season, my BT5 family. So that's what I was doing, and then I ran over here to hang out with you.
That's amazing. Yeah, so we're going to get deeper into that again, the topic. But I have so many questions for you.
Right.
But, here at the Mirepoix, one of our segments is our food and beverage.
And drink and the whole 9 yards. So today's episode is white labeling, sugar, all that good fun stuff. So I took the helm of having to create food, and I just wanted to play with sugar in ways that I really like. And one of the ways that first things that popped to mind when I thought sugar was powdered sugar, fried doughs, and honestly, Café du Monde out of New Orleans. The beignets are something that always drew to me. As I was, doing research and looking it up, I'm seeing all the cool things people are doing with beignets, from flavoring the dough, stuffing them with things. But I just wanted to keep it classic, simple, and try to emulate Café du Monde or shine brighter than them. Who knows? Always got to aim for something, So,
100%.
And then with that right behind it, too, we have some not candied bacon, but candy bacon. So instead of just letting a little light glaze on it and sticking in the oven, just making regular bacon, both a nice little sweet and heat finish to it, I kind of drowned it in the little sweet heat sauce I made, let it all boil through to kind of really permeate that sugar into it, to the point where it's honestly like candy first, bacon second. And then it's nothing like candied bacon y'all have had before. So I will warn you on that regard there. That way, you know what you're biting into, that it's going more towards candy.
Just come with the sweet tooth today.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. It's that episode of sugar. Uh-huh.
Yeah, 100%. And so what I did was Gilberto wanted to do daiquiri for the drink. And so we're in the fall season, Thanksgiving, Christmas right around the corner. It's like, man, let's stick it to the fall. And so I got the apple pie daiquiri here. With a little bit of spice rum, dark rum. We did a apple fresh Granny Smith apples pureed with some fresh lime juice. Zested it with some nutmeg. Did a little bit of a roasted apple on top as well for the garnish. Shook it down with some white egg yolk. Egg white to produce that foam on top to give you a little bit of body to that.
Yeah.
And floated with a little bit of cherry syrup at the bottom there. So.
Well, cheers to that. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to new restaurants, new shows. Boop, boop. And you know what? Cheers to those of you at home. Cheers to Cassie. Hi, how you doing?
What's up, baby?
Boom. She loves beignets.
Oh, yeah, we know.
So good.
That is really good. That is dangerously smooth. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should be by a fireplace right now,
I'm saying, man, me and my girl were in a long distance relationship, so she's coming to visit me this weekend. And I was telling Roberto, this is going to be the panty dropper. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. This is the one for the ladies right here.
Hey, it's a classy one too. It's definitely it's on the James Bond level. You know?
Just nice and smooth and sexy. It's I don't know. I feel like it's family oriented.
I would definitely be drinking it. Because it's got like that spice as if you were drinking some cider. It has the cream as if it truly was nice apple pie. The flavors are there all the way through, rich and smooth. Cheers to you, man. I'm definitely, this is, talking about your nice cocktails at your restaurant. Boom, here's one for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And let's dig in to our pastry chef here. Let's get into the beignet.
All right, under judgment, I feel like cue the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, just dig in.
All right.
We're not shy around here.
Boom, and there's the all-important napkins.
Yeah.
Well, let me do a little stretch myself.
Yeah, we're going to get in here.
That's really yummy.
All right. She got really yummy on that one.
You know, and I tried the candy bacon earlier, and I have to say, if y'all had sous vide bacon before?
Seaweed bacon? No.
Sous vide.
Oh, sous vide bacon. Yeah.
Kind of has like a sous vide bacon texture.
Yeah, that is really good, man.
I just like that there's the whole empty cavity in the middle. That's how you know you did the beignet right. You know, when you have the just whole puff right in the center, little pillows, little pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So, when's the last time y'all been to New Orleans?
Too long ago.
That's the way it always feels. Man, last time I was there was like 4 years ago for Tales of the Cocktail. Their big old liquor festival they do in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Hot, sweaty, muggy, and humid. But, you know, you get real drunk, so it doesn't really matter at the end of it. It was a whole lot of fun. The last time you've been to Adesuwa, have you ever been?
I have. So I was the regional sales manager for Walk On.
Oh, nice.
I trained in Homa. And then one weekend we took off and we went up to New Orleans. And I have to say, it's not my city.
No. Really?
I like it from the culinary side, but I'm like a bougie traveler.
Yeah.
Like 6th Street is not my street.
No.
That's not where I need to be. It's not my people.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't want to do it.
So where do you like to travel? Where are some of your favorite?
I'm like a bougie traveler.
I know. You got to tell us.
I'm like an all-inclusive resort kind of girl.
Wow.
Oh, hey, all-inclusive resorts, though.
I only want to do my brother-in-law. We went to Disney pre-COVID. That was my last pre-COVID trip. And he was mad. He got so mad at me. He's like, all you did was book restaurants. We don't have time to ride any rides. Literally, I scheduled reservations for every dining excursion.
Hey, that's how I
knew where to
travel.
get the drinks from. I had already figured it out. So I'm always looking for like really good food.
Yeah. So and I think that that gives room for a foodie trip. So me and Roberto has been talking about going to New Orleans, but I guess you wouldn't like that. But anywhere else, New York, LA, any place that has that big culinary scene, I would love to go with a group of foodies. Because that's how I like to travel. I just want to go to the restaurants.
I want to eat.
I want to eat. I don't care about anything else. Let's pick the best restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Go get a whole smorgasbord of all types of food and just eat.
And that was the last trip I took was up to LA just to eat Filipino food up in LA. So there's 4 of us. We spent about 5-6 days every day eating at like 7 different spots to the point where like it hurt more than it should. You know, we're just like waddling back to the hotel room, just like, yeah, that was good food. But it really is. It's enlightening. It's inspiring. Eating it's good. It's good for the soul, for the heart.
100%.
So, what you about to say, bro?
No, I was going to say, what are y'all's culinary dream vacations? Where's the spots? Countries, cities, restaurants?
So I grew up mostly in Europe. My mom was in the Air Force for 30 years, and so we lived Europe, but we never did like Asia. So I'm like dying to go like Thailand, but not even like I have a friend from school in France who's like this big time, should be Michelin nominated chef that's up in Malaysia. Like I want to go do like all the random little, not like the clickbait places, but like the other places people forget. And go check it out and really get an appreciation.
I don't know how many exclusive resorts are going to be out there now.
I don't know, but you know, I heard it's so cheap though. I'll make it. I'll turn that whole vacation into a resort.
Yeah, Thailand is definitely on my list as well.
Well, name a day. Let's get on the plane.
I mean, hey, next year I'm already trying to map that out. So I'm telling you, we need to do a foodie trip. We want to take the podcast out the country.
Yeah, man, that's the beauty of the Mirepoix. Oh yeah, that's the way we're trying to gear it, to aim it to where we can start taking it on the road and doing live episodes in Myanmar. Thanks for joining us here, but we are here now, and to jump into the steak and grits. The way that I got to meet you, Miss Adesuwa, was when you were actually doing pastries for one of the dinners that Kais was putting together over at a winery. And that was when we first started hearing about, or not hearing, but like it was my first time meeting someone that actually provides white labeling as a part of their menu, as a part of their service. What really drove you into white labeling as a service you offer?
I'm only an honest person. Yeah. So I will say that I didn't think I ever wanted to white label because I feel like I wanted all the credit for everything I ever did. But then I realized through my good friend Art Menchaca from RK Group, Rosemary's Catering, that there's people need help. And I noticed, so as I started opening my mind, I realized that a lot of businesses can't afford to have a full-time pastry chef on staff. A lot of hotels have gone the other way with that, where a lot of hotels aren't even having pastry chefs. And what people are going towards is frozen desserts. So you have these really well-crafted dinners, and then you have this really, all right, cheesecake sitting on your table. That cheesecake is from the freezer, which is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's just from the freezer. But my whole argument to it is if I'm paying, I go to these dinners, so I'm spending $75, $80, $85, $125, sometimes $250 a dinner, and I'm getting a 25-cent piece of cheesecake. Where's the creativity behind that? And so as we started working with our individual clients in developing their menu, I said, hey, there's really a room for us to have a conversation with these chefs on a bigger level of like, okay, if come up with your craziest idea on what this dessert can be and let me figure out how to execute that for you.
That's wild.
So if you could really, and I think the beauty of that is it's not theft of intellectual property or anything like that. It's a true partnership.
Yeah.
And when you start feeding into the community that you live into, then everybody's going to be successful because you become a commodity. So where we're sitting right now, over the last week, we've had like a few major hotels hit us up. We've had some really big name restaurants hit us up asking, hey, can you please help us get our desserts nice? And the other cool thing about that for you as a consumer that we get to offer it because we're doing it locally, we're doing it fresh. So your banana pudding's not coming out of a can. Your cheesecake's not coming out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Like as a business owner can contact us and in 48 hours, we can deliver them fresh product that they only have to keep on hand for a couple days. Just place another order. We'll make a couple more cheesecakes and drop it off to you. So I think that's the beauty of it now that I appreciate.
Now, is it always a collaboration, or do you ever have to just kind of create your own menu for that client?
I think it's for like the white labeling clients.
Yeah.
I think it just depends. Like, sometimes I get phone calls and say, hey, we want cookies with, we saw these cookies on IG. There was a cookie that Arcade sent my way that was like a pressed floral cookie that we had to kind of figure out. They gave us a couple days notice to figure out how to get that done.
Floral cookie?
So yeah, it's a sugar cookie, but it had like a real edible flower that was baked into the cookie.
Wow.
So figuring stuff like that out. So sometimes it's just like, hey, this client wants this picture, do it.
Yeah.
We just did a really cool thing for Visit San Antonio. It was a macaron flight box each macaron was developed according to the missions.
Oh,
so
nice.
we did a little bit of research on each of the mission and kind of created like a macaron for each flavor. And then we have a direct-to-food printer. So we printed the missions on the front of them. And then had this really beautifully curated menu that kind of had the picture that was on the macaron. It told the story of it and why we did it that way. So I think it just depends.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much purpose.
Yeah, and if I'm going to go there, I tell all my clients, if we go down the rabbit hole with you, I want to know the story. When we did the honor of working with Valero Alma Bowl last year. We were able to research those universities and figure out what they did. So I think sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes some chefs are like, hey, I know I want to do a pumpkin, blah, 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 blah. Can you figure it out? Sure. Yeah. And then a lot more times than that, it's just like, hey, here's what I'm working on. You do you, just deliver it. And I'm like, all right. So
we got faith. We believe. Honestly, though, I feel like that's how I've started in the past, like, however many years. That's really how the direction I've taken my life. Like, when it comes to haircuts, when it comes to ordering food or anything, I'm just like, yeah, let's be real. You have created food or sold food or done your menu way more often than I have ever tried to do your menu. So you choose for me, like you let me know the way you want to shine. With my barber, it's like, dude, you've given more haircuts today than I've probably received in my life. If you got a vision, go for it, and it's actually started to, like, I don't know, there's a little tug of war there. On one end, it's good to allow people that creative expression and then do it. But sometimes people do need direction, like there's a guy that was cutting my hair and I told him, I was like, hey, whatever. He's like, no, I need to know what you want, man. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like that bartender that hates you go to the bar and they're like, hey, what kind of drink do you want? And they're like, well, what's your favorite kind of drink to make?
Yeah.
Is it kind of that type of situation where you're just like, yo, give me something to work off of? Or
I think like we've fallen into this and done it quite a bit now. So I think I know what kind of questions to ask.
Yeah.
I think that like I think the first thing comes down to just research, like getting to know your client, whether your client is a chef or your client is a company, like getting to know enough information just to be able to make that educated guess on it.
Yeah.
With you, for example, example, like reading your menus,
Right.
knowing your background, knowing like, you have a Southern twang about what you do. Okay, good. That kind of helps direct where we do, because you don't need to do a super refined pastry for your dinners because it doesn't mesh well. And the ultimate goal is that people don't really care. I mean, yes, and I think the other thing that I found amazing is that people are willing to still give us credit for the desserts. They're still like, everybody still has like enough in them to be like, oh yeah, they did that for us. But it's really the brainchild of collaboration. So kind of working with you through everything and kind of figuring out, all right, well, there's a better way to do this,
So on that note, what's been the favorite thing you've ever made for someone else's behalf? The favorite white label?
I think the funnest thing I've ever done was South by Southwest. We were invited to guest chef at South by Southwest this year, which was pretty amazing. We went down there, did it 1 week, and they said, please come back next week. And it was paid, which is always nice. When you do things like that, they're never paid. They're just doing them for free for your publicity. But this one, they actually paid us. And we created a guajillo spice brownie with like a cajeta praline marshmallow. And we had we made a peppermill crickets and candied pralines. And that brownie has become like a thing. It's going to be on our actual menu minus the crickets. But it's actually been on like everybody's menu. People have I didn't know crickets, you have shellfish allergy. You can't have crickets. I didn't know that, so I don't want to kill anybody.
Well, hold on. I have a shellfish allergy. I've also eaten many a cricket.
Oh, well, maybe it's a fake shellfish allergy.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's something going on.
We need to try some shrimp and grits for you after all.
No way.
Deep dive in. You've been doing all right. So, yeah, I think that one was pretty cool. I think another one that was impactful was the red berry tart. So RK Group, again, said, hey, make a dessert for, their new property, Red Berry Estates. And we created a red berry tart. That's been really received really well across the board. So I think it's when things like that translate back, when people just really want them. Our Banana Foster's banana pudding's like a major hit all the time.
Hey, Banana Foster's anything is always a major hit.
So I think it's just like everything.
Back to New Orleans.
I think the weirdest thing we've ever done was an Elvis Presley mousse, which I told my client the night before. We also don't practice these. Like we make them. Like it's not like we rehearse this, like try to we're not throwing product away, okay? There's starving children in Africa, so we don't just make things to make things. But we made a peanut butter, banana, jelly, and candied bacon mousse.
Nice.
I literally told my client, I was like, hey, look, I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but if it's not good, then I'll fix it before tomorrow. But I think also having that level of trust with our clients where they're like, okay, you're going to bring something and it's going to be edible.
So I'm just wondering, you got to think, you got to be incredibly confident in yourself to be able to just kind of do one-hit wonders.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Shoot a dart, in the dark and just pray to God you miss it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any issues with that type of process? Has it ever backfired?
No, I think we see. You can probably we see our own failures. I think I struggle personally with not feeling good enough, right? Yeah. And so when things aren't perfect, and I strive for perfection, and my team is learning that as they work with me now at the new cafe. We're always aiming so high that nothing's ever good enough. And even though now I consider we did South by Southwest, to me deep down inside that's not a big deal because I never took time to actually celebrate that moment. And so I think we did this caramel apple mold, which is hard. I try to do it's hard to do molds here just because you need a lot of equipment that we don't have. We just don't have it. So we did this caramel apple mold that was a candy apple, and there's all these issues with it for Ilea's dinner last year, and I thought it was just trash. I thought it was trash. It was a caramel apple mousse. It had a bourbon apple filling, and then we had this crumble of candied popcorn and cotton candy crumb and pretzels. So it was that whole candied apple thing on a decomposed plate, on a composed plate. I thought it was trash, right? So I was mortified the whole night. I was all stressed out. I was sad about it. It was just a whole emotional day. And then the mayor's wife messaged me on Instagram and said it was the most insightful or well-crafted dessert that she's had in the last 5 years.
That's amazing.
So I think when you're putting that level of pressure on yourself, but you don't know who's eating your food and how it's going to impact them and how you're going to tell that story. Yeah. So I have to remind myself at times, okay, it's never a failure. It's just let's get better, Yeah,
no, because that's, you can ask Kai. So literally every single time I cook anything, I'm just like, yeah, no, I know it sucks. I'm already in the mindset. I'm already learning. What can I do better? How can I improve it? How can I improve my craft? And then Kai, certain of our guests would be like, no, dude, that was actually really, really good. And I'm like, nah, no, it wasn't. I don't believe you. Thank you for being nice, though. I appreciate it. But I know in my heart of hearts that was not what I wanted to produce or whatever it might be. But that's, there's no such thing as perfect, but we can still have perfectionism.
And I feel like people get caught up. Like, I mean, I think I'm guilty of it. We're probably all guilty of it, being on that Instagram kick of like, everything's so beautiful and perfect and wonderful and glorious, you know? And I just made my first like hyperlapse video of myself in our kitchen, like with making a cake that I had no clue I was gonna do. And I was just like, I'm gonna make this video because like I have like an extra iPad now. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's press play. So I watched it. I mean, literally this is like a 6-hour time lapse of me making this cake. And during this time, there was a lot of negatives before there was a positive result at the end. Yeah. But like in the video, it just looks like, oh yeah, it's just so simple. She just whipped this thing up, and I'm like, and I realized that I'm like, okay, that's the Instagram effect. Like everybody, you only show your best side.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. But no, I don't think that I don't put out anything that I think is trash. For one, like we just won't do it. Like, and I also I'm very honest with people about stuff, like with flavor profile things. I tell you what I think is going to work and what's not going to work. Yeah. Like some girl tried to tell me that, red velvet and lemon curd goes together. I knew it didn't go together. So when somebody was discussing it, I was like, I told you this isn't going to work. So I think also being confident enough to just say and also I think being confident enough and being okay financially to say, we're just going to not walk away from that level of business. If we just don't feel like it aligns with what we're trying to do.
Yeah. All money is not good money.
No.
That's the damn truth.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So respect to that. That's pretty awesome. And I got a buddy too that, in contrast to what you're saying though, he always seeks to see my failures. Like whenever I post, like, oh, I made a mistake on this, and this is how it turned out. He's always eager to like, man, thank you for showing that, because we do live in this superficial social media realm where everything has to be picturesque and whatnot. But there are some people that can. Benefit from seeing those handicap moments,
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, everything can be perfect on Instagram. On social media, you can delete anything. And not that anything ever really is deleted on the internet. Once you put it out there, you put it out there. But you can check your post before you post it. You can remake the story. You can remake the thing. So on the realm of sweet things, that is what social media, the internet, and just the way we portray ourselves as human beings is a lot more in our control now. Way back in the day, what your friends knew about you is just what existed around you. And if you made a mistake, they saw it. You got bullied, you got picked on, whatever it might have been. But now you can sit there and before you post say, oh, no, that was a mistake. Hold on. Let me retake it. Let me redo it. Let me reshine it. And so many people will essentially have their existence trapped in a controlled environment, so to say. So to your end of showing the mistakes and showing the background, I don't know, to me that's always been an important thing of like showing that, hey, we can have fun while we're doing this. We can make mistakes. We can learn. We can grow. We can 100%. Keep on going and moving. And like, there was a chef I used to work for, and I was asking him about like, having stuff on your record, whether it's bad credit or, legal issues or whatever the case may be. Like, how do you deal with that, man? And he's just like, look, if someone takes a look at my past and then takes a look at me now and doesn't see that there's been such a difference or such a growth, he's like, I'm happy I have these things on my record because it shows that I've been able to grow. Yeah, 8 years ago, you're right. I was in and out of jails. I was doing this. I was messing up here. That's right. But look at me now. I have my own restaurant. It's successful. I'm doing great. And if you're going to come here and say, oh, because you were different 8 years ago, I don't like you now. Nah, that's a fallacy. That's a fallacy.
Progress, not perfection.
Damn right.
100%.
And to just keep us rolling on the tune of sweet things, how many different types of sugar are there?
Probably about, I would say 30 to 40, probably more than that, 100. They're coming up with new sugars all the time.
Yeah.
Every day they got something. Every day they have something.
From what I was reading, the two most produced sugars would be the sugar cane and then the beet.
Yes, beet sugar. Beet sugar.
Which I didn't even realize that that was a thing.
Beet sugar?
Beet sugar is actually a relative to beetroot, but and it's also produced 3/4 of all sugar production comes from beetroot. So it's just
All right,
it's in that same family. So
what would you use beet sugar with? Does it taste like beets?
No, it tastes just like regular. That's probably half the sugar in your pantry right now is probably beet sugar.
Oh, okay. I mean, first off, I'm bougie. It's only pure cane sugar for me.
Okay, sorry. Now I know.
Not with that hill country we got in there.
Country fair. Hey, I'll never turn my back on HEB.
Yeah.
No, I think there's so many sugars. We're actually doing so we have a really amazing bad A coffee program. We have our own private label coffee, which is amazing. We're doing French press coffee, and actually, when you order your cappuccino, you get to order sugar off the sugar menu.
Ooh,
So I have not picked all the sugars, so I'm happy to be here with you guys to maybe pull up a list and be like, so we're gonna have some beet sugar, cane sugar, turbinado sugar, maple sugar. There's all kinds of sugar.
Do you ever make your own like sugar fusion?
I do. We make consistently. We have an azúcar sugar, so like a cinnamon spice, kind of like a Mexican kind. We take sugar, we take fresh cinnamon sticks or like real cinnamon sticks. We take anise seeds and kind of grind it up. We use it on our tres leches cakes and things like that. And then we might do some more like of those kind of creative sugars.
Yeah. The house choice is always like talking about culinary experiences and journeys and all that. If I can go somewhere and they say, hey, we have chosen this thing, method, ingredient to express ourselves through, whether it's our house sugars, where like, yeah, we got 6 of them. You want something spicy? Here you go. You want something sweet? Blah, blah, blah. Or the like house shots. When I was opening up a few bars here in San Antonio, that was one of the things I started having a lot of fun making, is just essentially pre-batching cocktails, but making them really strong, really good, and saying, hey, these are house shots, $5 a pop. Pour them in. There you go. Real easy. And then I don't know. And house anything, house pickles, house sugars, house all that. You got anything that, aside from the azúcar blend that's sitting on your brain right now?
I mean, I think we have our, so right now is focusing on the coffee program. So we have our own creamer. It comes in this cute little creamer cup. It's super adorable. Check us out on Instagram. You can see what it looks like. It's super cute. And then we have the sugar. Like I said, we have our coffee that's private label now, which is great. So we're coming up with some things slowly, but we have our 6 signature cakes, our 6 signature cocktails. So, we're doing we have some stuff up our sleeves.
The signature is the most important part.
Yes.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to check it out.
And we're what, like 3 weeks away now?
3 weeks up, boy.
Yeah.
Until the next shoe drops.
Yeah.
Now, you said that you got into pastries because you saw the market was more accepting of that out here, or?
So I ended up, when I went to go to Cordon Bleu in Paris, my dad said, can't you go to Cordon Bleu and wherever? And I said, because if you could go to Harvard, why would you go Harvard online? So he said, okay, you won the argument. You can go to Cordon Bleu in Paris.
Yeah.
So the deal with that is I had to get every diploma. That was the only thing. He's like, you can go, but you have to get all the diplomas. And I said, all right.
Oh, that's fine.
That's easy. There. So we did that. So when I came back, I really never thought I would do pastries. It just was not my grades were better in pastry. My chefs always said I was going to do pastry. I just never thought it wasn't my thing.
What was your thing?
I like cuisine way more. Like, it's just like, it's a little bit looser, fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It's recoverable. Like, if it doesn't go right, you could still, if it's halfway through, you're like, man, this ain't right, you could still fix it. Pastry, you can't fix it. It's just broken. Throw that away.
Do you have a favorite dish that you like to prepare?
Oh.
Because I never had your food. Like,
all I've ever had your sweets.
I think my favorite thing off of our menu is we like this little, I'm calling it Miss Piggy. It's a pork sandwich. So it's a French bread. It's got an arugula pesto, pulled pork, candied bacon jam, and herb goat cheese on it. And we kind of like grill it a little bit, and it's really good. That's my favorite thing off of our menu.
And that same team that I got to meet, however, like a month ago, that's going to be them making it out?
Yeah. Okay. So they're there. So they're doing great. So we have that. I think my favorite food to cook, I think, I'm probably like everybody else, I like to eat like regular food at home. Yeah. Like, I don't want anything too fancy. I think French food, like, cook up on the best, or like any kind of beef bourguignon, some kind of like stewed something.
Yeah, something wholesome.
Like, traditional French potatoes.
Yeah, I love anything doused in gravy.
Oh, no.
I'm like a chicken and dumplings kind of girl. My grandma's chicken and dumplings, like that kind of person. Like that's my favorite like cuisine things. My favorite wine is Chablis or like Sauvignon Blancs, Pinot Grigio. Something a little bit salty, something with a little bit of acidity to it.
Yeah.
Not over oaked, not over processed. So yeah, I think it's just those kind of things.
Yeah, that's. I think we all can relate to that. You know, we cook all these lavish items, and then we come home and just eat something wholesome. Fried chicken, grits.
Now,
A grilled
just
cheese
for
with bacon.
the sake of honesty for the peoples at home, Kaisa's feeding you something right now. Whenever I get home, come back, man's over here like, I've presented a 5-course meal. I was just messing around, R&D, no big deal. And then he's sitting there and he's like, we don't like to cook fancy things at home. Boy, I've seen you cook at home.
I don't think it's fancy. It's literally whatever we have in the kitchen is what I'm an artist at heart, and so I just make things look pretty.
Yeah.
It's essentially fried chicken. Is it not?
I mean,
was that not fried chicken?
Yeah, but it was so good.
Yeah,
and it was so
nobody
hurty.
invited me. I live down the street. It's
Well,
fine.
hey, you're always welcome.
Yeah, we're learning.
Now that I know where you are.
Yeah, you're always welcome. In fact, Gilberto is going to be experimenting with some tacos
Tomorrow's
man.
the day.
Yeah, and so a quick segue into talking about how sugars can be implemented in other ways that are not just dessert related. Because I don't like sweets personally, but I do like to incorporate sugar in things that are maybe way too acidic, maybe a little bit too salty. It's a
balancing act.
Exactly, it's a balancing act for me. So. You want to kind of talk about that?
Oh man, okay. So first and foremost, pure experiment. Well, let's get that right off the bat. It is a pure experiment, but that's what I like to do. I like to experiment. I like to push myself. I like to challenge myself, and I like to bring things together in ways they wouldn't normally come. So first and foremost, I'm making my own tortillas. That's not really the experiment. I grew up doing that. That's the easy part, but I'm infusing it with roasted red peppers to make really like dark red, loaded with umami, a little bit of spice to the tortilla. But then I'm going to do French people across the world don't hate me how I pronounce it, a duck laurent, and I'll make a little.
Is that right?
Yeah, Miss Paris.
It's been 10 years, so yeah, it's great.
Yeah, boom. I
hung with a bunch of French people this week, and they were like speaking out. They're like, "You with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Wait,
it's like riding a bike.
I'm right here with you. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm doing a little duck laurent to go with it. I'm gonna experiment to find out what's the best way to express that. What's the best way to actually create it? What's the best way to get it rolling? From the protein itself to the sauce itself. Honestly, the candying of the bacon was a big part of it. Was I made that orange glaze, and I wanted to see how does it feel, how does it cook, how does it roll when it's a lot more sweet, because I wanted to play it with a little bit more spicy, because I like spice. That's my thing. Yeah. And that experiment was for me. So we're gonna see how it all comes out tomorrow. For those that don't yet, at Gilly B, and also most of that main content is gonna pop up on at the Guild TX. But like I said, we're putting together the final touches. I got a real cool, cute little plan to like, what's it called in Christmas when they have those boxes and you punch the holes out every day? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, it's a box and it's got the little...
Some of the, it's going to come to me in an hour.
Yeah, the 25 days of Christmas type thing. So I'm doing like that. Yes.
Score 5 points for me today.
Boom.
What's it called?
5 points
calendar.
to
I
Sukkot.
wasn't going to get that one.
But have you ever seen those?
No.
So they're little calendars, but each of the day, instead of marking them out with a Sharpie, you can kind of like punch into it and it has a little treat. So essentially I'm doing that, but I'll be letting people vote on it. I'll be letting people guide through it. I'm going to put in the description what is behind the mystery box, and then I'll let people vote, comment, like to see which one gets opened first. And those tacos will definitely be hidden among a few of those posts.
Yeah, so if you're around, feel free to
swing on by.
Swing on by.
Come be a judge.
Judge the tacos.
Come judge the tacos.
Yeah,
Dude, I knew someone like there was. Shout out to Chef Adrian Abella, the hero that we all deserve and that we all need. But he hates when people compliment his food. And it made it like, when I first started working with him, it made it so hard because he would be very like, hey, go give me feedback. I need to know, how is it? How are people liking it? And of course, it was like 8 years ago when we first started working together. And I just go and be like, oh, so what'd you think? You like it? And they'd be like, yeah, it's real good. And I'd go back and be like, hey, sorry, I couldn't get more info, but it's real good. I don't care. I don't need to hear that, blah, blah. I want to hear what people hate about it. And I'm like, bro, give me like 3 more years of your cooking, and I'm sure you will mess up once, so we can hear something bad about your cooking. Like it's tough to find the people that can actually give you or understand your vision well enough to like critique it, and say, hey, I know what you were going for. We talked about it. You described it to me. If you want to get there, I'd recommend doing this, or maybe you should play around with this more. Because especially with food, man. Food is so good. It is so easy to just be like, dude, this is delicious. And it's like, well, thank you, but I have something I'm trying to achieve. Did I achieve it? Did I get there?
I feel like food's like a perspective.
100%.
And I feel like sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Like me, I don't like chocolate and berries. But like, a lot of people do. Yeah. But like this weekend we made like a chocolate and rose raspberry ganache with fresh raspberries on top. I mean, I didn't make it for me, but my client I knew would like enjoy it. So I think like it's perspective. So it's hard to criticize something unless it's just straight up bad.
Is it hard for you to make things that you don't like? Like in that case, was it hard for you to execute that dish knowing that this is not something that you would enjoy personally?
I think our raspberry rose ganache is like top notch. So I think I knew that I liked that. Yeah. I think that I knew chocolate and that would probably work. Yeah. But yeah, it was a challenge. I don't eat nuts also. Like I don't like nuts. So like I struggle with like when people are like German chocolate cake. Or like something like that. Like I just am like a little too heavy. I don't like nut. I just don't like nuts. So it's like, oh, like my pecan, developing out our bourbon pecan pie is like the best. It's really great. It sells really well, but I think I struggle with that because I didn't eat nuts. So it's kind of like, how do you develop pecan pie for someone that you don't eat when you know you don't like nuts?
Do you even trust your employees enough to be able to give you?
Oh, absolutely not.
I thought I was about to say, oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely not.
The real talk right there.
No, I trust my mom.
Yeah, okay.
I trust my mom and my dad. Yeah. Because my mom, my dad's Nigerian, so he's like, I made this really ugly cake. Timbo, I had a tutorial with him. We made like this really ugly fish cake. My dad's like, it's not bad, when you squint your eyes and twist your head sideways. But my mom was like, she's like, I don't think you should post that one on the internet today, So if I'm really concerned, my mom is vegan, but if I'm really concerned about something not being right, I'll be like, I really need you to just take one for the team today and try this, because she'll tell me. My mom will tell me the truth.
The source of honesty. Yeah.
Everybody else is just, they pander to you. They don't know.
Yeah. Or like you said, I just don't trust them.
They just don't know.
There are definitely members of my team that like, even when I just hear their criticism, because don't be wrong, it's all open to interpretation. You're not wrong, but just know you're not right. So like when I have the little 20-year-old, trying something like, I don't know, it's just not it. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Go sit down.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that feedback. I will take it to heart. Anyways, anyone else? Anyone else got some feedback for me?
I think you also have to be careful when you're asking for feedback. Like do you really, you want the feedback, but do you really, do you really care? Does it, I don't know. I think now my thing is I'm really big on my own mental stability. And I think I have to find confidence in what I'm doing for myself. Mm-hmm. And I know it's trash. I know when I've done something that I'm not 100% proud of that expression. And I think I have to I'm learning to trust myself. But I think too, when you solicit feedback, sometimes it's you're almost not trusting your own judgment or authority. But maybe it's just my own personal journey. But I'm at this stage now where I'm just is it good enough for me?
Yeah, my problem.
Why am I doing it? And why am I doing what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm. I think with that, I'm trying to get into a place to understand that, yes, this is my journey, but also my journey is backed by my clients. Yeah. And so I have to do something that they like. It's not always what Kaya's like or what will this client really enjoy, And so just trying to find a balance.
Yeah, exactly.
What I like versus what my client desires, what they want. You know what I mean? So It's
I think we're like on the same place though with the clients, because like now I have clients that like literally like this last 2 weekends weddings were people that just found me on the internet, never did a tasting, never did anything, just fans from the World Wide Web, and said, hey, you know what, we just want you to do your thing. And I get more and more people that call me saying, hey, I don't really care, I just want you to do my thing and your thing, and I know it's going to be great. And I think you're probably on that same boat too. Yeah. But I feel like when that happens, we all get scared to like keep doing our thing. We're like, we start questioning ourselves more because we're like, well, what are you looking at?
Because I know.
So I think you have to be careful. I think you have to again fall back on yourself and be like, okay, well, I got my like, you know, at the end of the day, like you got yourself here, you know.
No, when somebody tells me to do my thing, I can do my thing. Yeah. It's when they say, okay, do their thing.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I struggle with that.
Okay.
And that's when I start evaluating if you're my client. Because I mean, there's some things that we're never gonna be able to do. Like I can't do it. Like people are like coming to me with like 55 videos from YouTube about here's this cake that I want and all 17 angles. I'm like, dude, then call them because I don't know. I don't know how they did. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. You're gonna be disappointed regardless no matter how hard I try. So I don't know.
And shout out to YouTube. Being like the ultimate instructional, tutorial, inspirational.
YouTube, yes, I'm a graduate.
YouTube University.
My degrees from my diplomas.
Yeah, YouTube University.
Yeah, it's a solid ad. Yeah. So that's how I'm here today.
And there's just so much information out there. Man, okay, hold on. That's I was just about to answer that. You know, I see y'all are babysitting.
Babysitting, y'all.
Dieting.
Yeah. Oh, that's my question to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's that like? To have lost all that weight, 40 pounds, and yet your career is based upon sugar. Yeah. Like, is that ever a conflict for you, or do you just strictly business? No feelings.
I feel like my business this year has really taken off in the last 2 years. I feel like I needed to feel confident with myself. Yeah. So I made it. I'm very blessed to have been part of the program. And I got really used to like spitting out food. Like I will chew it, spit it out. Lately, it's been more challenging as we've gotten further in the meat development process to like do that sometimes.
So you're committed.
Yeah, I was about to say
like
that's a sacrifice.
I'd like put cake in my mouth or whatever if I thought, try it out, make sure it tastes good, and I'll spit it out really quick. Just because I want to do that. It's hard because my social networking is like on another level. Yeah. I remember I was off Almere Hospitality Association, I'm president of that, and they received a check from La Cantera Resort and Spa. And so I remember I had to give the champagne toast. And I remember going up there and saying, cheers, giving my speech and saying, cheers to all the 300 people who are out there. And literally took a sip, like didn't even take a sip. I put the champagne to my lips, so it looked like I took a sip of champagne, and then put the glass, and I handed it to a friend when I got away from the stage. So, I think it is what it is.
You are a warrior queen.
100%.
Sometimes.
Respect.
So I think it's just a thing. You gotta like look out for yourself. You gotta look out for your health. You gotta it's a balancing act on everything. But I also think it's like Thanksgiving dinner too. Like sometimes when you're making the volume of cakes that we're making, it's like, I don't know, get another piece of pastry again.
Yeah, that is a very
like we made 1,200 pastries last weekend for How the Moon. And I can tell you right now, I don't want to see another banana pudding nor triple chocolate mousse for anything.
It's a cool little vibe.
It's great.
It's a cool vibe.
Dude, I will say this. In the same regard of getting burnt out of those things, that's how I feel about downtown San Antonio. When I was first working there, like 10, 11, 12 years ago, oh boy, was it so cool. All the bars there, all the clubs, the Riverwalk. Wow, there's so much culture here. It's great. Now, oh my, I'm not going downtown. Like, there better be a good reason you're trying to drag me downtown.
I mean, downtown isn't even what it used to be. Like, it's not even as lively. I've gone downtown several times this year on a Friday, Saturday. It's just dead. Nobody's out there. It's all weird, man.
Dude, it's because our tourism died.
Yeah. I think it's coming back.
Is it?
I'm down there a little bit too much, and I think it's back. It's coming back. I mean, like I think that they have these events, and you see a glimmer of what it used to be. Like I used to manage Hard Rock back now a few years ago.
You've done
I've done a lot.
That's crazy.
And I think like it's definitely like when I was there for that event, I was like, okay, here we go, we're back. But I've also seen like a lot of like the death of small businesses going on down there too. I think that the rent, what I want to see from downtown, nobody cares, San Antonio doesn't care about my opinion, but here's my opinion. I feel that they need to make downtown have more affordable rent structures so that small businesses can come in and like infiltrate downtown.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to get real estate down there.
Dude, it's I forget the family's name, but they own the Riverwalk and most of the surrounding properties and like all the historic properties that exist down there. Like, you need to be rich to be able to rent out a historic building, and then they've just gone through and made every building historic. That way they can essentially monopolize it.
I think like those buildings too, they're so old and they require so much repair to get into them that when you're talking about $10,000, $12,000 of rent a month, plus you're talking about, but I also need you to bring $500,000, $600,000 to renovate it.
Petition the city to even get those renovations underway.
And then I went to a meeting for like the real estate people that are building the new buildings downtown, and they were talking about, we're going to bring these celebrity chefs from other cities and other places. I'm like, dude, you have a lot of celebrity chefs sitting here in your own back pocket. If you made this accessible to them, they would come. Why would we go sponsor some chef from Chicago to come to San Antonio to cook for us? But also, I know it's going to flop because San Antonio likes local.
100%.
They really do. They support local. They like local. That's it. But go ahead and bring your chef from Chicago, and they'll be like Martha Stewart and the other guys too. Paula Dean and Carlos Bakery. It won't last very long. But
it's so crazy how like San Antonio supports local in almost the denying of others. Like, that's the way they support. So if you go out there and you're like, hey guys, I'm a local chef, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna bring the buzz, you might get some people to come out. But you know they love local when a foreigner tries to come and then they get booed out of the city, they get shut down, they get kicked out. And it's like, there's all that love and energy. When y'all going to do that, when we're popping up and all that. Because there's so many hidden gems I have found and so many people that are trying to actively make it. And honestly, that's probably where the inspiration for my business, the Guild, came from, was just meeting all these amazing, talented human beings that aren't getting the support they need from the city, and being able to be like, hey, look, I will take care of all that. You just keep doing you. We'll work out some deals. We'll make some good things happen. But no, it is like the east side of downtown San Antonio right now. That area has been getting. It's weird. They tried gentrifying it, but then it just became more local. Yeah. They're like, hey, we're gonna pump money into it. We're like, all right.
Pump some money.
Yeah, pump your money, but it's still going to be ours.
Yeah, I think San Antonio is interesting. I don't know what I want to see with downtown happen. I think Pearl is pretty cool what they have going on there, but again, like, it's just the rent structure just doesn't make sense. And I can say that as we've actively been shopping buildings and doing all these things. It's just expensive. It's so expensive, and the resources aren't there. And I'm extremely blessed for my family that we could pull this off, but it's a lot.
Man, the area that your spot is at, that is. I don't know, but one of my friends,
It's
going to be really fun hanging out with those nice people up there.
Yeah, no, one of my buddies has a house right up there, right off of 550 right there. There's turn left, there's a neighborhood on your right once you get down a bit. But yeah, it is a nice area. His HEB is nice. The Las Palapas that's there, that's probably going to be your most fierce competition, just so you know. Las Palapas is hard.
We can share. I'm not making tacos, so we're good. Go right ahead.
I do want to try your Miss Piggy though.
I know my Miss Piggy. I need to make up. I have a question. How do you come up with all your menu names?
Lots of magic.
So if I just bring you my ingredients list, you'd be like, here, this one's going to be Miss Piggy, and that one's going to be.
You think my names are cool?
I think your names are cool.
I feel like I just call it what it is.
Well, I just don't want to be like, here's the charcuterie board. Which I think is the biggest.
It's
like the biggest ripoff that you could ever buy from a restaurant is a charcuterie board, and yet we have to have one because it's like if you don't have one, you don't have a charcuterie board. No, because I'm not making anything on it. It's a ripoff, and I'm charging you for it.
Spoiler alert: we're going to do charcuterie next week.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, don't worry. We'll make ours good. We'll make ours work.
Well, we're doing like bougie things. We're getting like weird stuff from weird places and like high quality, but still I'm not out here like making cheese in my backyard, so I feel guilty, but I am gonna make some spreads.
You
can do what's that latest trend right now, butter boards.
I'm actually gonna start implementing.
What's a butter board?
It's like a charcuterie butter.
So
just
you take your charcuterie board,
Add all some nice
I'm really
toppings on
enjoying
top
you guys
of
doing
it.
like these
That's
like
really-
motions
that's-
here.
That's how you have to do it. That's a butter board.
Okay, so it's like butter on a board.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
you
different
just
kinds of
doll it
butter?
up. No, so I mean, you can do different kinds of butter. The one that I made before, it was literally just I got regular old Kerrygold unsalted butter, got it kind of soft but not like melty. Worked it all the way around, just kind of created a flat surface on my charcuterie board. And then I poured like roasted garlic, kind of stirred that into it, got different little figs, different balsamics, toasted some bread, put all around it. So it's essentially still a full charcuterie board, but with stuff that pairs really, really well with butter, and also that you can just grab the bread and just almost like hummus.
That'll be on the SU card menu moving forward. That's now called the SU cards butter board.
There you
Yeah,
go. See,
it's a whole lot of fun.
And that's how we steal your stuff. Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it is cool.
All right. Well, I just feel like it's just a thing. Oh, that looks pretty too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They look real pretty. Get all the herbs on there. But I will say this: I'm a big boy, and there have been many times in my life where I have felt very fat. None have ever came as close to when like we were R&Ding the butter board, and like I'm like 6 slices of bread in, like half the butter's gone. I'm just like, oh,
I did that.
that
One monster.
Yep. Guys, I'm just gonna throw the rest of this away. The world isn't ready for such a thing
Yeah.
because it's literally just butter and fixins.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, butter is essentially just. I was gonna say it's cream, but I guess cream will make it pretty bad.
Yeah, no. Hey, first off, dairy's bad for you. We know it. Yeah, but also just like
Everything's good for you in moderation. That's my nutrition degree. I have a nutrition
True.
degree, so I know some things.
So, but what's moderation? You know, I'd rather go into that.
Moderation for you is moderation for me.
Yeah.
But you could do like some like bacon grease.
a bacon grease board.
I mean, you could. That's your theme with the cornbread.
That sounds horrible.
Add
But the
some
cornbread though,
bacon. The
What
cornbread.
cornbread?
The cornbread. That's what we need.
I need to make
Don't
some
worry.
cornbread.
You go ahead and knock it today, because next week I'll be back with my butter board, and they're gonna be like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Bacon grease."
Bacon grease. I got bacon grease.
You gotta like thin it out, fatten it up. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with my head.
I got heartburn thinking about that.
You're gonna be all right.
See, that's how I felt about that butter board. I got halfway through and I'm just like, I mean, it was good going in, but
It's not good right now.
yeah, it just
It ain't getting.
it ain't good.
That's
Well, so as we wind things down here, as we wrap it all up, so there's 2 ways you can do this as a
Gosh.
Mirepoix exit.
okay.
A, you can let us know, what's to come, what you're working on, where we can support you, how we can support you, or you can just drop a, mic drop bomb and let it sit in there like that.
Right now, I don't know. It's so intense, so much pressure.
Yeah,
Everybody told me
I'm
that.
telling you, I'm gonna queue up like oh wait, here we go. There you go, boom. It's your choice.
I mean, right now,
It's a purge.
Dude, it is the purge though. It sounds very much so like that. We
okay.
get
I think I'm gonna go with the bacon grease butter board.
boom.
Mic drop.
That was a mic drop. Bacon grease butterboard.
That's the mic drop. You heard it first here on the Mirepoix podcast.
You heard it here first, Mirepoix.
And I only make things that are exceptional, so it's gonna be exceptional.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exceptional.
If we never hear about it again,
Because it wasn't
because
exceptional.
it wasn't exceptional. But
it's been tabled
We'll never
for
live to
further
tell about
discussion.
when we come here next week and we're like, dude, bacon grease boards though, huh? You'll know what happened.
Exactly. What about y'all?
Oh, okay. Man, I wish I'm gonna toy around with the soundboard. All right, guys. I'm gonna tweak some stuff out. So, can I pass real quick, guys? Can you
No.
can you get it?
I was like, no.
We just thank y'all for being here tonight. Special shout out to Adesuwa for coming through and showing love and giving us some tips on this bacon board that she got. I'm very curious about that.
I'm working on it.
See what that looks like. But definitely go support. What's the name of the cafe?
Sukar Fair Oaks.
Click the
Same
Sukar Fair.
Instagram page for the
Same
brand
Insta-
and the restaurant.
Everything's all in
Boom.
one.
That's how you
Maya
gotta do it.
Sukar.
Yeah, so please go support her. I can already tell it's going to be a fantastic cafe, and we're looking forward to supporting ourselves. But yeah, man, thank y'all for tapping in, and stay tuned every Monday. We are here in the same spot. So subscribe, like, follow, comment, all of the above, and come back.
Subscribe. Oh, and prepare thyselves. Coming sometime later this week, we're going to be back up, re-uploading, backlogging all of our episodes into audio format across Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Pandora. We'll be everywhere. So there's that. And then I got it. Here's my mic drop. As I do this, I want everyone to remember I'm going to be getting my mad experiments on and trying some crazy, wacky stuff and seeing how it comes out. So I leave with.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
That's really great.
Boom!